Chapter 57, Jaiden Kensington. The moment Callie opens the door, I'm awake and looking over to her. She closes the door behind her. Get up. We have to leave. Take your bag. I hear shouts. I'm up and grabbing my stuff. Callie wakes Lucas up more forcefully, and they both get their things. I throw on my jacket and bag. I head out the door, but I am stopped when Callie calls to me. Not that way. Out the window. I open up the window and climb through easily. From there, I go down metal stairs. Callie is above me. She points behind me. Ogre! I turn around. Panic arises and I drop my bag. The ogre swings his fist at me. I duck. He lines up to strike again, but Callie sticks him with a knife. It doesn't do much good. She lets go of it and it falls to the ground. Certainly, it doesn't slow him down any as he aims the strike for Callie instead. The ogre turns his back to me. Lucas picks up Callie's knife. He strikes the ogre from behind. This time, I see the wound Lucas was able to inflict. He is stronger than both Callie and I, so perhaps he can get through this thick skin easier. Unfortunately, Lucas moves out of the way, and the ogre looks to me as the one who cut him when he looks behind him. He charges me. The only thing I can think to do in my panic is run. I can't delude myself into thinking that I'll be able to outrun him for long, but there are places that I could perhaps hide where he couldn't get to. I run into the street. I see it in the corner of my eye. A truck. It's going to run me over. I use my momentum to dive to the ground, on the side of the road, hopefully out of the way of the truck. I hear the truck slamming its brakes. I expect an impact to my side, but it only comes from the ground. I jump up and look at the truck. If I had been there, I would have been hit. The truck is full of people, in the cab and in the back. I recognize the faces. Well, I guess this is when we join up with James. I don't have time for this. The ogre crosses in front of the truck. I duck a punch, tripping over a hill in the process. I turn it into a roll to get out of the way. I can feel my muscles and abrasions protest loudly with sharp pains all over. I can't deal with them right now. I have to run. Behind the truck, I go until I hear a thud behind me. Lucas is there when I turn around. He's on the ogre's back with Callie's knife in the ogre's back. The ogre isn't moving at all, so I assume he's dead. Callie is at my side before I realize it. She grasps onto me and helps me stand. It's only then do I realize my knees are pounding. Lucas yells, Jaiden! He climbs off the ogre's back and runs to me. He hugs me, then pulls away to examine me. To his side, I notice James Ellisworn, if I remember his last name correctly, coming towards us. Others are leaving the truck. James holds up both hands. I'm very sorry. I hadn't seen you until it was too late to stop. We have medical supplies. Let us fix you up. He turns his head back to the truck briefly to say his orders. Taylor, open up the first aid kit. He turns his back to me. Let's get you onto the truck bed. A girl runs to the cab, while Miles puts down the tailgate. I'm fine, really, thank you, I say sweetly. I know they will help anyway, but I must be humble. Please humor me, I feel awful, James, he says. Okay, I agree. I stumble over the truck and jump up on the edge of the tailgate. Once again, I'm very sorry. James apologizes again. It's okay. At least you didn't actually hit me. It really could have been a lot worse than it was. I'm fine, but thank you. No worries. I lift my right leg up to the tailgate. Miles sets to work examining my leg and working to heal it. Since we did just almost kill you, is it too much to ask your names? The woman with pale skin, blue eyes, and black hair none so tactfully requests. This is where I decide to change the course of the future. There is no use to drabble on with a round of 20 questions. I already know everything that I need to make this decision. I'm sure I can steer this in the same direction faster. I introduce the group. I'm Jaiden. This is Lucas and Callie. I hiss as Miles cleans the rubble out of my leg with an alcohol swab. I should have remembered that. He places his hand over the wound. My knee itches. When he pulls his hand away, I'm still amazed that it disappeared. I look at Miles. Thanks, Miles. I look back at James to continue my speech when Kelly interrupts me. How do you know Miles? I stare at her for a moment. Does she really not recognize me at all? We went to the same high school. Kelly, Daniel, Alexa. Oh. She turns around in a huff and goes back into the truck cab. We didn't run in the same circles, but we've had classes together. Enough that she should recognize my face a little. Leah jumps to the ground beside me. I'm Leah. I didn't go to your high school. Hi, I say. I'm Brad. Sean. I recognize his face from a picture. Stephanie. Taylor. I'm James Ellisworn. Would you like to join us? I must warn you, though, we're trying to go up against the rebellion and get the world back in order. We just came from a battle to take back one of the farms they were using as a headquarters. If you join us, you probably will die. James jumps to his question. Though I don't know what causes him to jump to his question, I do appreciate it. I look at Lucas, then Callie. I nod, and they reciprocate. Sure, sounds like fun. You have a weird sense of enjoyment, Leah tells me. I like you. That's weird, but okay. Maybe she doesn't understand my meaning. Sarcasm, but yeah, we'll join you. I look from Leah to James. All right then, welcome. Everyone pile in and we'll get going, James says. Callie, do you want to ride with them or us? I ask Callie. It might be better than being on the back of a motorcycle. Callie looks at the truck. I'll go with them. It'll be a great chance to get to know them better. You have your own ride? Emil asks. The jackets aren't just for show. We actually do have motorcycles. They're right around the corner, Lucas explains. We'll be right back. I walk over to Lucas and take him by the arm and lead him to where we left the bikes. Are you sure we should go with them? We don't know anything about them, Lucas asks. Yeah, I've had visions of us joining them. James, he's like the prime minister of magic folk, and he's leading the resistance, I explain. All right, but do you think it's smart to follow them and not just go south by ourselves? He still has doubts about this plan. Yeah, we were heading south anyway, and if we don't like what we see, we can always just go off on our own, I reason. Not that I would break off now. I know these people are with me when I find Dominique, so I obviously stay with them. We reach our bikes back where we were ambushed by the ogre. I'm happy that my bag is still here. I put it on and then go over to my bike. I throw my leg over the black ninja. I find the key in my pocket and place it into the ignition. I turn the key and make sure it's in neutral before pressing the button that starts the bike. Lucas starts his bike quickly after me. He leads the way back out to the truck. We slow to a stop when we pull up beside the truck. I tilt the bike so that I can get my left leg on the ground. Lucas revs his bike up. I see him nod his head. The truck lurches forward, and James leads the way. Lucas rolls forward. I loosen the throttle and simultaneously rev the throttle and bounce my left foot up a little. We drive further south. The drive is snowy and peaceful, despite the destruction of every city we pass. I gaze down at my gas. I only have about 2 bars left, though I wouldn't doubt it if it turned into 1 in just a few minutes. My bike isn't going to last much longer. As if Lucas reads my mind, though I bet it's because his is running low too. He rips ahead of the truck and slows down to a stop. I'd never take such sharp movements with all this snow. I stop my bike and turn it off. No use in wasting what little gas I have. Taking the chance for a break, I put my kickstand down and peel myself away from the bike. I realize that both my hands are cramped and tingling. There's a chill in the air, and it had started snowing again. The wind has been blowing at me, making me sway a little on the highway. I had to lean into the wind a little more to compensate for the wind's strength. It made me nervous a few times. Between the snow and the wind, I figured I would have crashed a few times. I don't want to lose any heat that is accumulated in my gloves. I stretch my hands in the gloves and massage through the material. Lucas is at James' window. I better get over there. At the very least, I know what is going on. I've only got about 10 minutes left, which should be enough to get us to Airdrie, Lucas says. I'm at 2 bars. I should be able to make it there. I let them know. I don't know how long my gas will last. I might make it to Airdrie. I might not be able... I might make it to Airdrie, but I might make it to... I might make it to Airdrie, but I might be able to make it to Calgary. That would mean 10 minutes or a half hour, respectively. Just keep driving to Airdrie. You can jump in the truck if you run out of gas, and we'll be walking the rest... You can jump in the truck if you run out of gas, or we'll be walking the rest of the day. James says, we can get gas once we're in town. Great, Lucas says before walking away. James is already putting up his window. I guess that's it then. I'm half disappointed that my break won't be longer. My legs are finally starting to feel normal, and my hands aren't as cramped. Despite this, I jump back onto the bike, and we head off to Airdrie. Lucas pulls to the side to let James pass. James leads the way to the town, just as it is in sight. He pulls off to the left. It's the first house before you enter town. The snow is built up on their driveway. I assume they had a dirt driveway because the pavement on the highway only has a slight coating. I drive the bike into the snow. I go slowly to make sure the bike doesn't slip out from underneath me, but I get stuck. I rev the throttle a little and lurch forward. I panic and hit the brake. I don't lock the tires, but the bike comes out from under me anyway. The bike stops at an angle on its side, being held up against the inside of my thigh and my grip on the handles. I try to stand the bike back up, but it doesn't move an inch. I contemplate letting the bike drop down, but I don't think I can manage to do so with the position I'm in. I would scream for help, but I don't think anyone would hear me with the helmet on. I just wait and wait, but no one jumps up to help me. People can see me, and they are watching me, but no one comes to help. Okay, fine then. Supporting the bike against my thigh, I turn the bike off. I grasp the handles and pull my leg over the bike. In the position I'm in, I can't put my leg on the ground. Moving my right hand to the bike seat, I try to push the bike up. I'm not strong enough. Okay. 1, 2, 3. I jump backwards. The bike falls, landing. I lose my balance, slipping on top of the bike. At least I don't injure myself. I bring myself upright and walk towards the truck. The bike can stay where it is for all I care. I remove my gloves. Both my hands chill. Reaching underneath my chin, I undo the straps. Taking off my helmet sends a shiver down my spine. It's cold. I thought the drive was chilly, but all the heat retained in my gloves and helmet is now gone, and I'm freezing. My glasses fog up, and I can't see. James comes back from the back of the house. Come inside, he tells us all. I pull up to the rear of the crowd. We usher in the cold house and straight down to the basement. There's a humming noise, followed by a light, and then warmth. An elderly man sits rocking in a rocking chair. His wife returns with blankets. She places them down on the wooden chest before she hands them out to our new guests. When she runs out, she disappears into another room, then shortly appears with more blankets for the rest of us. She hands me a comforter. Thank you. I unfold the blanket and wrap it around me until the only thing visible is my head. I'm sorry I can't do much more for you, she apologizes to the whole group. James quickly refutes her. We appreciate the respite, and the warmth you are providing us is more than what we could have asked for. We shouldn't be here too long. I wonder if James knew these people before the war. Are they supernatural beings? Are they just a trusting and caring couple? Either way, I am thankful for their hospitality. People settle down, sitting where they can, or finding a standing spot by the heater. Lucas is mingling with James and Miles, so I could go sit beside Callie, as my glasses slowly defog. How long have you been riding? One of the men asks me. Just a few days, I tell him. But you're so tiny, that bike is too big for you, the girl states the obvious. Not a lot of shopping options in the apocalypse. You kind of get what you get, I joke. Between chuckles, I catch the words, Nikki's book, over in Lucas's direction. It piques my attention, so I look over there. It's a little dark to see anything more than a yellow glint, but I think I know that notebook. Miles takes the book from James. Maybe if we can decipher her vision book, we can get clues. She might have seen this coming. We just have to figure out what the poetry means. Vision book? They have a vision book? I ask the general group. They look startled. No one wants to answer the question to a stranger, or maybe they don't know. Finally, Leah says yes. Whose book is it? I ask. Nikki Marshall's, she answers. I bolt up and walk over to Miles. Can I see that? They look at one another, suspicious of me and my intentions. They all have the rights to be, since they don't know me. I think I know the person that owned that book. Nikki Marshall? I might have better luck figuring out what the words mean. James nods to Miles, who hands me the book. I open up the cover page. There, inscribed on the cover, is her name and handwriting I recognize. I watched her write it after she questioned my inclusion of a gift receipt. She had said she loved the book, wrapped in her favorite color. She had no intentions of returning it. Then she made me sign it, but I was so nervous I signed it backwards and upside down. I flipped through the pages to the back page. I showed James and Miles the From Jaiden note. See, I gave her this notebook. It puts them at ease. One question burns in my mind. How do you know this is a vision book? How do you know that she had visions of the future? The Marshalls have a long history of strong mental abilities, none stronger than the ability to see the future. They were trained to write it down so nothing was forgotten. Obviously, Nikki wrote down what she saw, but she put it in code, James explains. And on my understanding, her poetry a disguise for her visions. So Marshall was my dad's last name. The last name is my birth father's last name. I am a Marshall by blood. I am torn between elation and pain. I should have known basic things like family traits and history. I should have been trained to write things down in a vision book. I should have been told about my visions as a kid and not be made out to be insane. I read through a couple of poems in the beginning. I feel the pressure of a bunch of eyes on me. They make me want to hurry, but I don't want to. I find the last pages she had written on. The words and tear smudges hurt my heart. They were obviously written after the attack. Scouring the pages, I look for anything that could lead us to Banff in some sort of reasonable connection. But should I? I toss back and forth. Would it be better to reveal that she doesn't have visions, that I'm the one that does? If I tell them now where we should go, will we change something? Make it so it never happens in the first place? Or maybe we get a better opportunity to save her earlier. It's so confusing. It's possible to save her the way that we did, just move a little faster and we could have her down before that ogre gets there. It's possible that I said something in the original timeline to get us to Banff faster, and by delaying things we end up not saving her. Maybe not. I don't know. I never really tried messing with things like this. I don't know the rules. I should have been taught the rules. Maybe they decide not to save her because they find out she doesn't have visions of the future. She isn't any use to them as a human. I should just leave things to happen as they should until the moment before. I need more time. I don't see anything that could tell us where she is, I admit. Then how do you suggest we find her? Brad asks me. We talk to people. Someone has to know where they took her, where they're going. In my head, I stick up my hand. Me, I do. Dominique is in Banff, or will be. I have to believe that somehow, sometime, we make it to Banff, just in time to save her.